Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and today we're looking at another beer that was kindly sent to me by the absolute legend that is Tony Howard. The link is going to be down below to his channel if for some reason you've not subscribed to him already, but I'm sure you already are, and but if not, shame on you, but I'll forgive you if you just click that link down below. You can stop this video, completely move on, but just check him out. I hate when people say cheesy shit like that on the videos. I don't know. But so you recently sent me a box of beers. I don't know why I'm explaining this, because most of these reviews that you'll be seeing are from either pretty much two places, from when I bought stuff from booths or the stuff that Tony Howard sent me. Although I am expecting... No, actually, you will probably see this after I've received another box from McKellar. Hopefully, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I can post whatever I want when I want. Okay, get out my face. There we go. Another little cheesy interaction. I hate that when people do that on camera. Something that I do a fair few times, to be honest. But this isn't a homebrew that he sent me, although he did send a few really nice and intriguing homebrews. This is actually what he would consider his favourite beer of all time, the greatest beer in the world, and is one that I've heard him talk about quite a lot, whether it's in his own homebrew, like Wednesday videos or Brew Day videos, and when we've had him on, I say we, it's just my channel, when I've had him on chats in the past. And it's always been on my radar, because when someone recommends something that they really love for me to try, it doesn't matter if it's a movie, an album, or a beer, I'm gonna go and try it. But to be actually sent a bottle of it means, it means a hell of a lot more. And that's what I love about doing BeerTube, is just the connections, the friendships, and it just blossoms into really fantastic stuff where you're getting stuff sent to you. And hopefully, in August 2018, we might be having a meetup at London because it's usually the London Craft Beer Festival around that time. So, 2018 is going to be the year that I hopefully get to meet a lot of you guys and the people who I've been talking to for quite a while, who I do genuinely consider friends. And again, that's what I love about... I mean, I've been involved in YouTube for years on different channels, my movie channel, but I don't think I've really had like the friendships and connections to this extent that I have since getting into this weird and wonderful world of beer. But anyway, we're going over to Belgium, and we're going to, and you'll have to apologise for my absolutely horrific pronunciation, Brouwerij Verstraete. Terrible mispronunciation. But we're looking at a bottle of their Papegaei. And really nice, simple looking label. 330ml bottle. Beer is clocking in at 8% ABV, and I can't remember exactly what specific style this is. It just says Belgian beer, or Belgisch beer. Is that German? No, I don't know. You'd think I know. This is take two, because I absolutely bollocksed up the pronunciation of the brewery, but the show must go on. And best before date has been pretty much rubbed off, but I do see a 19, so it's got a nice little bit of shelf life to it. Now, I should have been reviewing this in a days time to let it settle after it's been delivered to me, but it's a Friday night, I'm bored, and I wanted to drink a couple of beers, and there were some in the box that I just really felt in the mood to try, so that's why I'm doing it. So there might be a little bit of gush action. I know I get gushed over quite a lot by my ever-growing female audience, but you might get a gush on cam. So many wrong things there. But anyway, oh no. See, with it being a Belgian beer, I was expecting this to be like prone to like gushing out of the glass. But anyway, a bottle. Anyway, let's see what we get with this one then. So, as some of you know, Belgian beers, I adore the history, and I appreciate the significance and the culture. But Belgian beers, for the most part, they're not my favourite territorial style beer. If that makes sense, I've worded that absolutely terribly. There always seems to be like a characteristic from like the yeast that I get in a lot of Belgian beers. Doesn't matter if it's like a Belgian blonde or like a triple or quad. There's just always this like almost consistent flavour that I pick up from Belgian beers and Belgian style beers that I'm not the biggest fan of, but there are some absolutely beautiful Belgian beers that I love and adore. But yeah, so I should have really actually read the note that Tony sent me, or at least looked up the brewery, so I had, so I know what to expect with this in terms of the style. But there's no fun in that, and you're not going to teach yourself anything if you every beer that you do you look up tasting notes. Which I've got no problem with people who, you drink beer the way you want to drink beer. If you want to drink it at that temperature, do it. If you want to drink it in that glass, do it. If you want to pour a beer that way, do it. Who am I to ever tell anybody, in the first place, what to do in general? You know, who they're. I'm not getting there, but also, drink beer the way you want to, drink the beers that you want to, and if you want to learn, then you can attack beers by looking up tasting notes beforehand, or you could go in blind, test yourself. I like to vary it up. And there have been times where I've tried a beer not knowing what the style is, and then at the end of the review, I still don't know what the style is. So it could very well be the case with this one. Anyway, I'm waffling on really quite frantically about a non-issue, but beer in the glass, and that is hazy as hell. Yet you cannot really see through that at all. Lovely golden orangey sort of look to it. Sort of reminds me of like tangerine almost. The little bits and bobs, I'd suspect that when we get a bit further down into the bottle, then we'll get a few more little pieces and a bit more sedimentation. But yeah, the light is obviously shining through it, but it is a really nice and hazy looking beer. Quite vibrant as well. Beer didn't really pour much head, but we'll try and generate some just to show you. Even though when I pour the rest in, head always seems to reinforce itself. But yeah, that's pretty much like a nice one finger's worth, which is dissipating really quickly, of a white head. So yeah, I'd imagine 8%. Isn't that sort of like going into the Tripel region? You'd be thinking that I've been doing this for the amount of time that I have now, and I'm, so many reviews in, that I'd be a little bit more knowledgeable. But I'll tell you something, never really read a beer book or anything like that. There are aspects of it that I am a bit too ignorant, I'd say, but at the same time, I'm just a normal, everyday Joe Schmo who just likes to drink beer, and every now and then, well, pretty much on a daily basis on YouTube, for the most part, tell you what I'm getting from them. So nobody ever pulls me up on it anyway, but I know, in the grand scheme of things, next to nothing about beer aside from some very basic fundamentals and what my palate and tastes dictate to me. So, I never want to try and make out that I know loads of things about beer. Maybe in a few years' time I'll be a lot more knowledgeable. But anyway, I'm making points that no one's ever brought me up on, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Let's give it a sniff, because this video is getting long already. Ooh. It's got like a really nice orange peel aroma to it. There's almost like a very slight tropical hoppiness, but it's a bit more spicy. It's not really bready or yeasty. But yeah, really nice, fruity and citrusy. And then, after a little bit, when you inhale through your nose a lot more, can you inhale? What's the action when you breathe and you sniff in? What's the proper term for that? I don't know. Get that slight banana, wheaty aroma to it. It's got a slight herbaceousness. I get like a fruited licorice, like lots of candied sugar, confectionery, like Haribo shoestrings that have been, with like that sour sugar on it. Yeah, candy like. Yeah, it's a very intriguing one. The hops are coming out a lot more than I was expected to be honest. So, without any further ado, it smells lovely. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Cheers, Tony. Ooh. That's really, really nice. That to me tastes like adult gummy bears. First of all, alcohol masked beautifully, aside from a slight warming as it's going down. But no harshness. Not even like a really hoppy harshness, because it is a really hoppy beer, and I think it is like the tripels or quads that are aggressively hopped for the most part. Like I was saying, Belgian beers aren't my forte in general, so always bear that in mind. Yeah, it's sort of tasting what I remember the Chimay White to be tasting like, where it's a lot more hop forward. So if anybody can confirm, I mean, I'll have all the right information in the description box anyway, but I'm always interested to hear what people's thoughts and opinions are and any facts and things. Yeah, I'm open to it. I really appreciate it. But yeah, that's lovely. Lovely sort of pepperiness to it as well. It gets some like nice spicy, almost like rye character as well. A little bit of a herby note. It's got like a greenness to it and leafiness. But yeah, remarkably easy drinking. And this actually, when I was talking about that, it's always a flavour that I can never pinpoint. I can never find the right words to describe it. But that flavour that I do get a lot from Belgian beers, which is this like slightly, almost like overbrewed tea character, and a little bit too yeasty. I mean, come on, the Belgian yeast. Yeah, I'm not here to give you a beer lesson, but do you know what I mean? They're renowned for the yeast and the way they use it, and a lot of breweries outside of Belgium love to use Belgian yeast strains. But this, I think that hoppiness, it's not like hoppy in like the American like pale ale sense. Far from it. It's in a different direction. It's like a spicy hop, but with like subtle fruit tones, more along the citrusy sort of edge, without that vibrancy that those hoppy beers would get. But yeah, this is a lovely, lovely beer for sure. Mm. I could definitely see where Tony's coming from. This is a wonderful beer. It really, really is. So, I mean, it's already hazed up at just me putting like that top bit of the beer in, but I'm going to give it a bit of a stir and just go all out. Look at that. Almost looks like a cream, like butterscotch Angel Delight coming out of that bowl. God, I've not had Angel Delight for such a long time. And yeah, look at that. The colour's gone a bit darker. It's almost like it's a frosted glass. Slight chalkiness to it. But you know what? That even looks like some of these like ridiculous New England style pale ales. Yeah, like proper like fruit juice. Turbid. That's the right word. What a word that is, turbid. But yeah, you definitely can't see through that now. The colour's dulled down a little bit. It's a little bit more muddy, earthy, dirty. And that head, like I was saying before, as reinforced so nicely, and it looks a lot more creamier. So we'll have one more taste, and we'll see what we get. A little bit more fruity now, almost as like I was saying, that fruity licorice sort of like laciness to it. Oh man, when it's all in the glass, it's so much more indulgent and decadent. The beer's smoothed out nicely, it's got a little bit more of a bolder body. I mean, it didn't have a thin body anyway, but this just a little bit more of like a creaminess to it, smoothness. And again, that 8% ABV, really not detectable. Even the warming as it's going down isn't too much. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, that is a really lovely, lovely beer. Almost getting like, it's like apricot yogurt sort of flavour now. What is going on with this? I still wouldn't really be able to pinpoint what style it is, but all I do know is that is an absolutely beautiful flavour. I can't really pick out anything wrong, offensive about it. Those characteristics that I don't usually like about Belgian beers, they are there, but they're toned down and other flavours are coming into play. Antonio, I think you could be onto a winner here, mate. The best beer in the world? I mean, it's no Augustina, let's face it, but, you know, it's a completely different style of beer before someone calls me out on that, which nobody ever does. I've said a lot of bullshitty things regarding beer that I've never had anyone be pissy with me in the comments, which is, you know, touch wood, will happen one day. I love it. Pear drops now. Apricots, like dried apricots. And that hoppiness, lovely hoppy bitterness on the back end. Yeah, definitely a winner. And Tony, I could definitely see where you're coming from with this. So, excuse me. In terms of a rating then, I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. I can't pick out too much wrong with it, to be honest. The reason why I can't really give it a 10 is because there are some factors from me personally that, you know, it wouldn't be fair to the brewery or to anybody watching it for me to just give it a blind 10 out of 10. Enjoyment factor, 10 out of 10 all day, but in like a truly objective way, with my own little, would you call it, bias towards the style, and couple that with my lack of experience with Belgian beers in general. I don't think it would be really right for me to just say 10 out of 10, best beer in the world. But it's definitely one of the best Belgian beers that I've actually ever tried. And if you ever see it for yourself, I think you'll be able to get this from Beers of Europe. It's definitely one I'd pick up again. Might get a bottle or a couple of bottles, one to drink when you buy it, and then one to put away for a bit to see what happens, see what flavours come into play and what characteristics sort of mellow out. But that is actually really a nice, mellow, enjoyable drinking experience. And the only reason why you're going to take your time with it and sup it is because just like the strength of flavour and that hoppy bitterness. I really, really enjoyed that, Tony. Thank you so much for sending me this one, my friend. Absolutely beautiful stuff. And if you ever do a clone of it, you know where to send that. But no, I won't be cheeky. Yeah, getting like Haribo now again. It's like tangy tartness to it as well. So much going on. It's a very robust and complex beer. So yeah, 9 out of 10. If you've ever tried the Papegaei, then let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. I'm sure Tony will have reviewed this at some point, so I will put his review in the description box. Nearly a 20-minute video, fuck me. But, you know, when I've got stuff to talk about, because, again, I don't really get to talk about this sort of stuff outside of YouTube. So when I get the opportunity and I can just go on and on and on, you know, the old Clueless Drinker would have, like, chopped the shit out of this video, but I think when you're hearing someone talking about something that's interesting to you, I mean, I'd like to think that I'm interested when I do these videos, especially the long ones. And if you have made it to the end, then you'll be forever in my heart, seriously. But yeah, fantastic stuff. So I'm going to put a link down below to the brewery, because I'm not going to do them a disservice by completely doing a bollocksed up job of pronouncing her name. And of course, check out my Belgian beer playlist. Check out the style playlist as well when I work it out, or find it out when I've come to upload the video. Check out Tony Howard, and if he's done a review of it, I'll put his link down below. And of course, if any of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed it also, their reviews will be down below too. So it's I think this could be my longest just regular beer review that I've ever done. I don't know. And yeah, at least you can drink 1 or 2 beers while you watch it, I suppose. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Big thank you to Tony once again, absolute legend, and for sharing one of his favourite, if not his favourite beer of all time, which just adds that like level of fantasticness to it. And yeah, check out the beer for yourself. Check out Tony. And hopefully you'll join me next time for another beer review. And are you asleep? I'm not going to do a cheesy looking part of the video again. See you guys later.